Hi, this is Ashley Swartz, CEO and founder of Furious Minds. I'm in Vegas in my hotel room with a little break in my day. Thought I would start to send in a video update and let everyone know what's going on here. Even though what happens in Vegas should stay in Vegas, I thought I'd share. So I'm here for BTV for the first 3 days before I get into some client work, and I'm covering SMG Source at CES, which is their sort of curated bespoke event to bring in 500 or so clients to CES. It's about 3 times larger than it was last year, and sort of give them a curated experience so that the fire hose of information that is the Consumer Electronics Show doesn't overwhelm them. As you can imagine, a marketer's first time at CES in Vegas with this onslaught of over 100,000 sort of folks is a bit overwhelming. So last night started by virtue of being here with the press, got an invitation to Samsung's first look, which all the embargoes have now been lifted, so I could talk about them. They started off with a showcase piece. It was mostly the visual display group, so televisions. The showcase piece was their 85-inch ultra high definition television, which is a 4 times 1080 DPI resolution. It also has a 100-watt sound system that is native to the actual TV itself. And it was interesting to me that this was sort of the marquee piece. And again, we're going back to design and definition. And at CES in 2011, we went big and doubled down as an industry on smart and connected televisions and app environments on TV and 3D. And the reality is that it didn't sell more televisions, right? So last year in 2012, it was interesting to see that the OEMs retrenched to design and definition, because that's why people will buy a new television, because it's a better picture and their viewing experience is richer as a result of new technology. So in that innovation agenda, we also saw that obviously the connected environment, the future-proof feature was something they talked about last year, which meant that last year's 2012 televisions will be able to, their software rather, will be able to be upgraded with this sort of easy, connector in the back. It's a evolution pack, I think they called it. They showed that off. They actually have it this year. The 2013 TVs have had a whole user experience makeover from Samsung. And what I thought was most notable and most interesting was that they are really trying, now that video ACR is native, NSERS is Samsung's North American ACR partner. Now that ACR is native, they're trying to really crack the nut on discovery by virtue of pulling the linear feed in and pulling all the VOD subscription services that you've got as an user on the device, and show you sort of a unified, ubiquitous electronic programming guide that is presented in more of a very straightforward app kind of up, left, right, down navigation in lieu of that grid EPG that is archaic and outdated that we have on all of our set-top boxes today. So I'm curious to see where Samsung goes from here, and what LG has to say later in the week, as well as Sony. On that note, today I was fortunate enough to be able to spend some time with SMG at the Four Seasons. I talked to 2 of their leaders, interviewed the president of Liquid Thread, and we talked about sort of content and the ubiquity of it, and how technology and changing audience behaviors is just increasing the flow of content. Also talked to the head of multiculturalism, but most excitingly, I got to actually have a sort of fireside chat with Laura Desmond, the global CEO of SMG, Tim Armstrong, CEO of AOL, and Don Graham, the chairman of the board and CEO of the Washington Post. And we just talked about sort of how, consumers and audiences are way ahead of brands, media companies, technology providers, etc. And we're sort of playing this game of chase, which is incredibly exciting, because it means what we're going to see out of this year, this year's CES, is that the new technology, the new products are not actually what's driving the innovation. They are tools. They act as catalysts so that our audiences and consumers and individuals, we are the ones driving the change and the radical acceleration of consumption and content, and the sort of ubiquity of multi-screen existences, and that it's not actually brands or technology providers that are driving that or defining the landscape. It's actually quite empowering, this sort of democratization of consumerism, and I'm really excited that the conversation that SMG is really pushing forward, and the agenda that Laura has, is about, this is the consumer experience show, not the consumer electronics show, and I think that is a great articulation of it. Got a couple things going on tonight. I'm going to talk to a TED fellow named James Patton, hopefully talk to the global CRO and CMO of Spotify, Jeff Levick. Got a few other conversations going, but it's been a great day so far. Tomorrow's when the sort of meat and potatoes come out. We start hearing the real announcements. They're big, and I'm going to hit the show floor. So stay tuned. I'll send you an update every day. But I wish everyone that is here that you did make the decision I did, and go amateur and big on your first night, and you are recovering and taking it easy. Thanks. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.